Do you know who you are? Today we're going to learn about how to figure out who you are from the inside out, the good stuff.
We are lifers, and this is Magic for Life.
What's up, everybody? Michael Johnson here with the Magic for Life podcast, and I'm excited to join you today because you're going to learn how to learn yourself. You're going to learn how to figure out who you are from the inside out. This is rough, right? Sometimes we put that on hold, and you have to ask yourself, were you one of those people? Have you been one of those people? Are you one of those people right now that has basically put your dreams and personal legend on hold? Man, that's epic. Dun, dun, dun. Super epic, right? But here's the thing. If you've put your life on hold, how's that working out for you? Are you doing stuff you don't like to do? Are you going to a job you don't like to go to? Are you running a company you don't like to run? We all do interesting things, and we all do these things because of other stuff that we need. And it's pretty simple. We have human needs, right? Maslow talked about it ages ago. He said that there was a hierarchy of needs, and it started with food, water, shelter, started with all of this idea that if we can't meet those basic needs, air being the first one of all of them, then life is going to be rough. How are you going to focus on the enlightenment of your soul, right? How do you focus on that if you're struggling to breathe? If you're struggling to get air, food, water? How do you do that? Well, here's the thing. From the beginning of time, people like Socrates have talked to us. They've talked to us in philosophy. Some of the great philosophers, some of the great theologians of the world have talked to us about actually learning ourselves, right? If you look back, the Latin of it is temet nosce, learn thyself. And so that's what we're here. We're here to learn about you. All right, so enough jibber jabber about how or what we're going to do. Let's do it. Let's dig in. So I want you to take a moment wherever you're at. Now, you notice you've got this beautiful scenery behind me, beautiful sunny day. You've got some incredible views here, right? And there is a point to that. I'm out here taking a walk. My son and I are on a hike, and we're having a great time. We went and stood under a waterfall. It was freezing cold, right? Why do we do these things? Why do we push ourselves to the limit, right? We climbed up a mountain to the top, well, not quite the top of the waterfall, but almost. And yeah, and we stood under the waterfall, right? And why do we do that? The water was freezing cold. We knew that getting into it. Well, why did we do it? Because we wanted to push ourselves. We wanted to push ourselves to the limits of what we can do. We wanted to get out of our comfort zone and really be able to stretch ourselves. Why? Why do we want to stretch ourselves? Because it's in those moments of stretching yourself beyond what you previously thought you were that you start to learn a little bit about you, right? And it's not that, obviously it's stuff that we like to do. It's obviously stuff that we're doing on purpose. We like to go out and take a hike here and there. We like to be outdoors. I mean, we recently started getting out more often and being more outdoors because we started to recognize that there are some really fabulous benefits of things like, the sun. Yeah, how about that? There's an alarming correlation to the lack of sun and how people feel. So when you can get some sun, it's always good for you. Now, here's the thing. You go, you stretch yourself. Awesome. So what can you do this week? Maybe even today. What can you do this week or today to stretch yourself? Now, there's a lot of meaning behind that. You can stretch yourself by pushing your body past what it would normally do. You can stretch yourself by pushing your mind past what it would normally do. Does that mean go pick up a book? Yeah, maybe. Maybe pick up a book, pick up something that you like to read, pick up something that will push you a little bit in your thought process and experience it to its full effect, right? You got to stretch yourself, like go climb up a mountain, go ride a bike somewhere, right? And there's some really big benefits to all of that. Now, what if you aren't able? Let's say you're physically not able to get out and do something physical. That's okay. You push your mind. You can push your soul too. How can you push your soul? How can we stretch to start to learn more about ourselves? How do we do that? It's simple. We start to practice our emotions. Well, they're practicing, right? They're pushing themselves. So we start to practice our emotions. We start to push ourselves a little bit further beyond what we are typically capable of doing emotionally. How do you do that? Well, it's easy. Start by remembering a time when. This is a great statement. Remember a time when. Remember a time when you felt happy, like so happy that you could hardly see straight. And try to remember that, but not just mentally. Try to remember the feeling of it. So right now, think of that time. Think of where you were at. Think of what you were seeing, what you were feeling, what you were experiencing. Imagine it clearly in your mind. See it with your eyeballs, but while your eyes are closed. Hear it with your ears, right? You've got to actually step out of your comfort zone, and you've got to be able to figure out why you won't get out of the bike lane. I guess, we had to stay over here, right? He insisted that we scoot over. No, you gotta get into your mind and into your space here and think about that time. Because if you can feel it from the inside out, oh man, this is where the good stuff is. So when was the last time you stretched your mind and your soul and your body? Now those are the triad, right? That's the triad of it all. And this is what we're trying to achieve, not just to stretch in each of those places. Now think about it. If you're stretching your muscles, why do you stretch your muscles? You stretch them so that they can get limber, right? You stretch them so that they can maybe get more flexible. Well, how could doing your emotions every day, and you notice I said doing, how can that stretch you? Well, because if you start doing them on purpose, what happens next? Well, then when it comes to doing them in the situation of life, it gets easier and easier. That's pretty cool. So we've got to start to learn ourselves. And this is a huge way to learn ourselves. We've got to stretch. We've got to push ourselves out of the typical, out of the norm, and try to reach for something greater than ourselves. And as you do, you're going to start to find that some really cool things start to happen. Some really cool things. But I don't know what they're going to be for you, because we're all unique. You're as unique as your thumbprint. And so for you, there's going to be some cool things coming. I don't know what they are, but I can't wait to hear about them. Let me know. Comment wherever you're listening to this, watching this. Let me know what it is that you have found in your stretching of you. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to find out what it is that you're learning about yourself. But it is time to learn yourself. Let's do it. Let's push. Let's stretch. Let's get outside the box. And let's do that today. Until next time, keep finding the magic.